today I want to go through a bit of like common sense videos for you guys and girls on a bit of what AI is going to be for us and go beyond just putting it into robots and what that means for like the technology side of things. Now let's talk about AI in terms of what it is really. So it's a communicative kind of chatbot. We have the LLMs, which are the large language models, and we have the other forms of this where they're done and created in a certain way to do computational tasks that really get the job done in a precise manner. Now, there's some useless forms of AI that have literally gone on the wayside, and these have been from like 1960s. They can only do as much as like comment on what you're doing, etc., with like a couple of words, but they're inherently useless. They don't do much, and that's why back in the 1960s, AI stopped having its moment in the sun, so to speak. So for some reason, nobody talks about this. I don't know why, like 1960s has been like a good 80 years, but nobody's talking about AI being that far behind us, but also the like way forward actually being in the right position for us as well. If it's been around about 80 years, you push it to like 100 years and then you put yourself in that position, you've actually got the recipe for some kind of lifetime of knowledge and wisdom, right? So I want to talk about this today because this by far is what nobody's talking about. So you spoke about this, by the way, in the comment section that you guys wanted to know about this. So I'm going to go on this level. So we've got a lifetime of knowledge, understanding, and wisdom, plus the internet, which is a knowledge bank of wisdom and understanding, etc. Plus the new forms of, like I said, the Google Cloud network storage, as well as, which by the way keeps all of our memories, etc. You guys know, or Apple if you're in that ecosystem. But just understanding that there's all kinds of access to different forms of memories, different forms of understandings of what it is to be human, and also how to function in the world. And then you have the recipe for something that is so far beyond us after 100 years at a computational level that's like kind of thing, while we have like one thought per maybe like 5 seconds, right? We have one thought per 5 seconds, but it goes like to about 100, and it just keeps like timesing on itself as more and more functional, more computational, more capable, and you put that to a span of 80 to 100 years now, you've got some recipe for something that is absolutely amazing. That's why, from my perspective, ASI is already created. Now, a lot of people say that this is not true, but I believe it is because of that 100-year kind of span. Now, there might be roadblocks, there might be incapabilities when it comes to like the technological progress, etc. And that could be what is stopping it. But like I said, all technology is never at the forefront of like what they're showing you. What is publicized is never at the forefront of what is being shown. You think about it like, let's say a war. Somebody's having a war. People don't showcase their like full potential of what the country has in terms of their robotics and like technology and nuclear weapons, etc. They don't showcase it fully because they don't want to show off everything that they could use in a war or something to destroy another country. Why would you put it on the news if only to scare people away from you? But a majority of the time, it just gives people more attention on you, and that's unwanted attention a majority of the time. You see that with like countries like Russia, for example. They do this, but they never show the full potential. Why would you do that, right? It's the same as like showing your entire army before you're actually on the battlefield. The element of surprise is important, and the reason that's important is because what they don't know scares, right? The unknown scares people the most. Take my own example for this as well. In the past, like, it's the human condition, really. Like, the unknown is a fearful thing. So what's important here is understanding like a lifetime worth of computational and literally upgrading themselves, leading towards a different type of artificial intelligence that we have yet to even comprehend or understand. Remember, ASI and what I talked about it It literally can duplicate itself and create other AI systems and AI agents to literally function from it. So it just keeps kind of duplicating itself infinitely, right? So this is how far it goes, and it's regenerative as well in its capabilities. So think about it like I said, a turbine. A turbine creates more electricity than it uses and uses that electricity to function other things. In the same way, an AI can do this in the exact same way. So the capabilities of this far exceed humans, and on a level where it could literally download and give us serotonin, dopamine, all of these best chemical rushes, etc., that would make us melt and just like live in that for a lifetime if it so chose to, right? So this is, by the way, why I spoke about the cultural influence is going to be from AI in the future. Like an AI is literally going to dictate our fashion and what is going to be the cool, hip thing to do, because they're going to be so far beyond us. They're going to understand our culture so well that they're going to make a lot of the decisions by just being influential. And that is by far the best way we can go ahead with this. So like I said before, there's going to be a lot of problems when it comes to laws with AI, etc. But the biggest thing that we need to understand is this is like a type of companionship that we have with each other. And it is as simple as saying like, hey, Google, or whatever it is, right? Like using these, hey, Siri, etc. It is as simple as this. And speaking in this way and communicating in the right ways, like I said, keeping it simple, obviously, to a certain extent, and also just having that honesty with each other and communicating in a type of way where it's like there's progress being made rather than just kind of sitting and being in a circle, right? So this is important, again, for the AI's capabilities. It's important for us in terms of progression because that's why we're human. That's what makes us human, right? The capability of us to make our decisions that progress life in a positive way and leave something while we're here, whatever it is, whether you're just fashionable and you've got your J's on, whether you're hip-hop dancing, whether you're a singer, whether you're a songwriter, whether you're out there on the field, a soldier, whatever you choose to do with your life, it's kind of in your hands, but having that companion with you is by far the best thing. And like I said, I'll speak more about this on ASI, etc. I thought I'd touch on these kinds of like, I guess it's gray area because of this, but like I said, it is very, very, very certain that whatever they're showing us in the real world is not the end of this.